Okay, let's just jump right in. If you're an AI engineer, or really any kind of software engineer, this one's for you. We're going to break down the absolute chaos of your workday and install a whole new OS for your brain. Consider this your survival guide for the AI age.
Yeah, that probably hits a little too close to home, right? You might feel like you're this master conductor, this genius orchestrating a symphony of productivity. But what's really going on inside your head is probably a lot closer to a 5-car pileup on the freeway.
I mean, just think about your screen right now. You've probably got, 10 Claude terminals running, at least 3 different browser sessions going, maybe a YouTube video streaming in one of them, Slack is pinging nonstop, LinkedIn is throwing notifications at you, you've got 17 random notes saved somewhere you can't find, and out, your phone just buzzed. This isn't just a workday, it's some kind of wild cognitive experiment nobody signed up for.
So what's the real cost of operating like this? Let's pull up the diagnostic report, and we'll start with what all this multitasking is really doing to your brain. Because here's the spoiler, and it's a big one. You're not multitasking. You're just switch tasking very, very quickly. And it's incredibly expensive.
Look at this number, 40%. That's how much of your productive time can get absolutely vaporized by constant task switching. Studies back this up, 40%. That's like losing 2 full workdays every single week. Just gone. Vanished into the thin air between your browser tabs.
And it gets worse. A lot worse. Heavy multitasking can literally trigger a temporary drop of up to 10 IQ points. To give you some perspective, that's a bigger cognitive hit than losing an entire night of sleep. You are literally making yourself dumber just to answer that one Slack message. It's wild.
And here's the science behind why that happens. Researchers found it takes an average of 23 minutes and 15 seconds to truly get back into the zone after you've been interrupted. Now, just think about that for a second. If you're checking notifications every 10 or 15 minutes, well, you do the math. Your brain never ever actually gets to that state of deep, focused work. You know that feeling, right, where you've switched to a new task, but your brain is still kind of chewing on the last thing you were doing? Well, it has a name, attention residue. Professor Sophie Leroy coined the term. It's like every time you switch, you leave a little bit of your brain behind. By the end of the day, your mind is just full of this cognitive gunk, this leftover debris from a dozen different tasks.
Okay, so this isn't just happening in your head. This mental chaos, it's taking a very real physical toll. While you're juggling all those tasks, your body is sounding these silent alarms that you're probably just ignoring. So, welcome to part 2 of our diagnostic report. This is the huge disconnect. In your mind, your perception is, I'm in control, I'm a master conductor. But your body's reality, it's running a non-stop, code red, fight-or-flight emergency drill. It thinks there's a tiger chasing it all day long while you're just sitting in a chair.
And one of the biggest triggers for this is a crazy phenomenon called screen apnea. A researcher found that about 80% of us, that's most of us, either hold our breath or start breathing really, really shallowly when we're staring at our screens. You're probably doing it right now. And that one simple, unconscious habit is enough to keep your body's alarm system on high alert for hours on end.
And that constant high alert state means your body is just flooded with the stress hormone, cortisol. And when cortisol is chronically high, well, the consequences are no joke. We're talking about impaired memory, a suppressed immune system, messed up sleep, and a direct line to anxiety, depression, and even long-term heart damage.
Okay, enough with the doom and gloom. Let's start installing some fixes. The first patch is super simple. Anybody can do this. It's called the 20-20-20 rule, and it's designed to fight back against eye strain and what's called computer vision syndrome. Every 20 minutes, you just look at something about 20 feet away for 20 seconds. That's it. It's a tiny reboot for your eyes and your brain.
All right, that was a small patch. Now it's time for the full system upgrade. We're moving from just diagnosing the problem to installing your new personal operating system. And please, don't think of these as just tips or hacks. This is a complete protocol designed from the ground up for peak performance and, more importantly, long-term health.
The core of this new OS is all about working with your body's natural energy cycles, not fighting against them. These are called ultradian rhythms. The method couldn't be simpler. You work in a 90-minute laser focus block. And when I say focused, I mean everything else is closed. No Slack, phone in another room, for real. Then you take a genuine 15 to 20-minute break. Get up, walk away. Do 3 to 4 of these blocks a day, and I promise you, you will produce more high-quality work than you currently do in 8 hours of chaos.
Now, let's talk about hardware support for your brain. These are the Tier 1 foundational science-backed supplements. Creatine, it's not just for bodybuilders. It's like high-octane fuel for intense thinking. Omega-3s, they're literally the building blocks of your brain. Magnesium is crucial for chilling out your nervous system and getting good sleep. And vitamin D? Look, if you work indoors all day, you are almost certainly low on this. And that's just a recipe for fatigue and brain fog.
So we've got the concepts, we've got the hardware support. How do we actually integrate all this stuff? This is the daily protocol. This is where the rubber meets the road, how you turn these ideas into a real executable plan.
So check this out. This is what a day actually designed for focus looks like. You start your morning priming your body and brain. Hydration, sunlight, some kind of movement. Then, bam, you hit your deep work blocks during your peak morning hours. And notice, this is key, the shallow work, the emails and Slack, is batched into a specific window in the afternoon, after your most important work is already done. Then, at the end of the day, you have a dedicated wind down. No screens. You let your brain actually prepare for restorative sleep.
And this is the core philosophy right here. I know it feels totally backward in our culture of hustle, but it's the truth. The key takeaway is that by strategically doing less, by focusing on one thing at a time with real intensity, you will produce more and better work than you ever could in a state of constant distraction.
Ultimately, it really all boils down to this one question. You have the most sophisticated, most powerful computer in the known universe sitting right there between your ears. The only question is, are you running the right OS on it?